It's been a while since I did one of these. In fact, I've only done one. So I think now, particularly given the chaos of the economy right now, it's time to talk about five more undervalued hidden gems. Happy days, everyone. I'm Kevin, Docs Comics. Welcome. And if this is your first time here, a special welcome to you. So several months ago, when I was just getting the channel started, I did a video on five books that I thought were undervalued. And it's been a while since I did one of those. Yeah, I cover a lot of series that are relatively inexpensive to collect, but I haven't really talked about individual issues a whole lot recently. Although I'm going to kind of cheat this time. I've picked out five selections that I think are hidden gems, undervalued gems, but they're not all single issues. Some of them are miniseries, and one of them, a couple of them, are like little segments of a series that I think are inexpensive and are worth your time. Let's go ahead and get started here. And the first series that I want to mention is Marvels. Everybody's probably heard of Marvels at least to some extent, particularly if you're my age. But this is really a groundbreaking miniseries when it came out in 1993, 1994. It is a four-issue miniseries with a zero issue attached to it, so there's technically five, and it's written by Kurt Busiek with art by Alex Ross. And this is the first time that a lot of us are exposed to the amazing work of Alex Ross, and he's been all over the place, fantastic covers and interiors really ever since. One of the cool things about this story, if you've never read it before, is that it looks at the development of the Marvel Universe through an everyman, a photographer, a reporter, and he sees all these amazing critical events in the phases of the Marvel Universe through his own eyes and tells us the story uh, through that way as a result. The first issue covers the Golden Age, the second issue covers the Silver Age, and three is the later Silver Age, and then issue four gets into the Bronze Age of Marvel Comics. It's a fantastic read. It's been collected in a number of different ways as well. So if you want to go the trade paperback route, that might be easier and less expensive for you. But even that, this series is very inexpensive, and you should be able to get all five of the issues for under $10 each. Well worth it for a high quality read. The type of book has this acetate cover that's really unique at the time as well. Not the typical 1990s gimmick that you see with foil and everything else related to that. So Marvels is a very inexpensive four-issue, five-issue miniseries that definitely is undervalued and worth your time to read. Another undervalued gem, although this isn't an orthodox one necessarily, but this is Tales of Asgard, which came out. It's a square bound book from 1968 from Marvel, and all of these are Marvel this time. Again, 90% of my collection is Marvel, so a majority of that is going to be this. But Tales of Asgard reprints a lot of the backstories that appeared in some of the earliest issues of Journey into Mystery. So you would have at least the Marvel Universe part of Journey into Mystery. So you'd have the main Thor storyline, and in the back there would be a 5 or 6 page story talking a little bit about the Asgardian mythos. It would focus on other background characters like Balder and other Heimdall and others like that, Asgard, the Rainbow Bridge, etc. And you could tell reading those that Kirby was really into the Norse mythos. He was enjoying it. He was enjoying delving into kind of the mythology of Asgard and of these sort of Viking myths. And Thor, particularly when it gets a little bit later, I mean, you can tell that Kirby really put his heart into all of it. And so it's a fun read. It's little 4 or 5 page snippets. You get several of them. There's like what 10 issues. I don't remember. I didn't write it down off the top of my head. But the immersion of Kirby into the Norse pantheon is really what makes this fun. And you can get a very fine copy like the one that I have here for probably under $20. So well worth it. Doesn't cost a whole lot of money. A definite hidden gem. I'm going to cheat on the next two as well. Neither one of these are single issues. They are, in fact, one's a miniseries and one is sort of a segment of a run. I'll jump into that miniseries first, and this is, I don't even know if you'd call it a miniseries, but this is the official handbook of the Marvel Universe. This is the first version of it, which lasts for 15 issues. There's a Marvel Universe Deluxe edition that comes out a year or two later. That's similar. The books are thicker, a little more comprehensive, and that one is equally as cool. But I have kind of a soft spot for this first version, which came out in 1983 or thereabouts. As I told you, it is sort of an alphabetical listing of all of the important things in the Marvel Universe, including heroes, villains, teams, important locations. It does schematics of things like Iron Man's armor and Captain America's shield. So if you are a nerd like I am and you like to get into the nitty-gritty of things and get background information, know how strong a character is or how fast a character is, this is definitely the way to go. These are a lot of fun, and all of them have really cool wraparound covers that, in fact, link together to form one big poster-sized picture. The first 12 issues go alphabetically A through Z through the entire Marvel Universe. Then issues 13 and 14 are Books of the Dead, so it talks about characters who have disappeared or deceased. And the 15th issue, the last one, gets into the gadgets and gizmos with a lot of neat stuff related to that. These are criminally inexpensive as far as I'm concerned. You probably can find all of these, all 15 issues, for $5 or less. You're going to get $5 worth of reading and enjoyment out of each individual issue. So it's dirt cheap as far as I'm concerned. It's going to take a while to read that. So as far as enjoyment per dollar quotient, doesn't get much better than this official handbook of the Marvel Universe. This next one is also kind of a chunk of a series, so it's not a single issue, but it's not an entire series either. And this is John Byrne's run on Fantastic Four, which goes from issue 233 to 293 from about 1981 to 1986. And John Byrne, I mean, people talk a lot about John Byrne. Of course, he was one of the pioneers of comic art in the early 1980s. I mean, you put him along with Frank Miller and Walt Simonson and George Perez is really this nifty pantheon of artists and creators appearing during this era, which created a real high point in the Marvel universe. And Byrne is no exception to this. You can tell that he really enjoyed working on the Fantastic Four. He wrote it and he drew it, at least with this segment, from 233 to 293. You can tell he put his heart into it. There's a lot of strong homages to the earlier Jack Kirby and Stan Lee run. He had fun with the Pantheon. He had fun developing the surrounding and supporting characters as well. And these are really inexpensive as well, with the exception of just a few. I mean, there's the first appearance of Frankie Ray as Nova. There's a couple of Galactus appearances, which are a little more expensive, but you can get almost all of these, all 61 of these issues, for $5 or less. I mean, they are very inexpensive. And so if you're looking for good reads that have value, that entire 61 issue run of Byrne's Fantastic Four is worth your while, and they are pretty easy to get. The last undervalued book or books that I will have in this video today, and I saved it for last for a reason, because I think it's ridiculously underpriced, undervalued, and underappreciated, and that is the Thanos Quest. This is a 2-issue series that came out in 1990 with a story by Jim Starlin and art by Ron Lim, although Starlin did the covers as well. Here is the second issue. And they both do have wraparound covers, painted covers by Jim Starlin, both fantastic. And what makes this series significant, and I'm sure a lot of you know who are hardcore comic people, particularly if you follow the MCU. I mean, these books really set the stage for Phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which started with Civil War and ended with Avengers Endgame. So all the stuff related, excuse me, related to Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet and the Infinity Stones, the origin of that is talked about in this 2-issue miniseries. It talks about how Thanos acquires all of the Infinity Stones to ultimately create the Infinity Gauntlet. And so there's a lot of canon in this 2-issue series that is incorporated into the MCU. So it really is one of the cornerstone comics of the MCU. Um, I told you Jim Starlin and Ron Lim, and these are very inexpensive. You can get both of these issues with a little luck and a little patience for probably $30, about $15 a piece. There are later printings of this, which you might be able to get less expensively, but if you're looking for first prints, not that expensive, about $15 per issue, and it's only 2 issues. And so you can get a really a nice background of the history of the MCU. So those are 5 undervalued books and/or series and/or segments of series that I think are worth picking up. Hope you enjoyed this video, as all of them. Please like and subscribe, leave a comment. I try to respond or at least give a thumbs up on every single comment that I get. And until next video, y'all take care of yourselves and each other.